You keep telling yourself you'll stop tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll quit the junk. Tomorrow you'll delete the apps. Tomorrow you'll wake up early, hit the gym, meditate, drink water, read books, become that guy. And tomorrow keeps winning. Not because you're weak. Not because you don't want it badly enough. But because you're fighting bad habits like a gambler fights the casino. With emotion. With hype. With one desperate, all-in push. That's why most people fail. They don't lose to the habit. They lose to the way they attack the habit. They try to change their entire life in one violent weekend. They do the new era speech in their head. They clean the room. They write a perfect schedule. They promise themselves they're done being lazy. They go hard for 3 days. Then life hits. Energy drops. Stress spikes. And the old identity crawls back like it never left. Because it didn't. The truth is brutal. Motivation is not a weapon. It's a mood. And moods don't survive real pressure. Moods don't survive boredom. Moods don't survive rejection, fatigue, loneliness, or the silent moments where nobody is watching. Bad habits don't live in your calendar. They live in your identity. Your habit is a vote for the kind of person you believe you are. Every scroll. Every binge. Every just one more. It's not just behavior. It's a confession. I'm the kind of person who caves. I'm the kind of person who can't sit with discomfort. I'm the kind of person who needs an escape. And until that confession changes, your habit won't die. You can fight symptoms forever. The root stays. That's where Raphael started. Raphael wasn't stupid. He wasn't clueless. He was the guy who watched the videos, saved the clips, and understood the concepts. He could explain discipline better than most people who actually had it. But his life didn't match his knowledge. He'd wake up and reach for his phone like it was an inhaler. Just to breathe. Just to feel okay. A few minutes turned into an hour. Then he'd rush through the day, already behind, already annoyed, already disappointed in himself. He trained sometimes. He meditated sometimes. He ate clean sometimes. He worked hard sometimes. Sometimes is where dreams go to die. Because sometimes means you're still negotiating with your weaker self. Sometimes means your identity is undecided. Raphael's problem wasn't that he didn't know what to do. His problem was that he kept trying to become a new person at maximum intensity, with minimum stability. Every Monday, he would declare war. New routine. Cold showers. No junk. No scrolling. Deep work. Gym daily. He'd sprint like a man running from his past. And by Thursday, he'd be back in the same place. Tired. Frustrated. Worse, ashamed. Because the failure wasn't just failure. It was evidence. Evidence that the old story was true. I always mess up. I can't stay consistent. I don't have discipline. I'm not built like them. And that story became his prison. One night, after another relapse into the same loop, Raphael didn't even feel pleasure anymore. He felt numb. He felt the dead feeling of repetition. Like he was watching his own life through a dirty window. That's the moment most people either change or disappear. Some double down on fantasy. Some numb themselves harder. Some cope with jokes. Some blame the world. Some blame their childhood. Some blame ADHD without getting help, without building systems, without taking responsibility. But Raphael did something rare. He admitted the truth without drama. He said, quietly, my problem isn't that I'm not trying. My problem is that I keep trying the same way. He stopped chasing the cinematic transformation. And he started studying the boring one. That's where Kaizen enters. Kaizen is not a quote. It's not a productivity hack. It's not a motivational poster with a mountain and a sunrise. Kaizen is a philosophy of change built on one principle. Small improvements, done daily, compound into something unstoppable. Not heroic change. Not extreme change. Not I'll become a different man overnight. Kaizen says, become 1% better, or even 0.1% better, consistently. So small you can't fail. So small your excuses look ridiculous. Because the real enemy is resistance. Not the habit itself. Resistance is that internal friction that makes you procrastinate, negotiate, and delay. When a goal feels heavy, resistance grows. When resistance grows, you avoid. When you avoid, you regress. Most people fight resistance with aggression. They scream at themselves. They force. They punish. They shame themselves into effort. That works, for a day. Then the brain protects itself. Then the brain pulls you back to comfort. Because your brain doesn't care about your potential. It cares about survival and energy conservation. Kaizen flips the whole game. Instead of forcing big actions, you shrink the action until the resistance disappears. You make the habit so easy your nervous system stays calm. You make consistency the default. Raphael learned that discipline is not built by intensity. It's built by reliability. And reliability is built by actions so small they don't require motivation. So he ran an experiment. He didn't start with quit the bad habit forever. He started with delay it for 5 minutes. Not because 5 minutes is magic. Because 5 minutes is manageable. 5 minutes is a crack in the wall. When the urge hit, Raphael would say, not now. In 5 minutes. And during those 5 minutes, he would do a replacement that was almost insulting in how small it was. 1 deep breath. 10 push-ups. A glass of water. A short walk. A single page of reading. Not to become perfect. To break the spell. Because bad habits are not just actions. They're states. They're emotional patterns. The habit isn't the point. The habit is the doorway. And Raphael finally saw it. He wasn't addicted to scrolling. He was addicted to escaping discomfort. So the real training wasn't stop scrolling. The real training was, learn to sit in discomfort without running. That's identity work. Not motivational talk. Identity work. And Kaizen gave him a way to do it without burning out, without grand promises, without self-hatred. He stopped demanding proof of greatness. He started collecting proof of consistency. Small proof. Daily proof. 1 vote at a time. Raphael also had to face something nobody wants to admit. The environment was winning. His phone was always within reach. His bed was his office. His notifications were constant. And his brain had learned a simple equation. Stress equals escape. So Kaizen didn't start with willpower. It started with design. He didn't say, I'll never do it again. He said, I'll make it harder to start. Because every habit has a trigger. A path. A ritual. And if you can break the first step, you can break the chain. So he created friction. Tiny friction. Just enough. He moved the charger across the room. He removed the apps from the home screen. He logged out every time. He turned the screen grayscale. He set a timer before any entertainment. Not because these were life-changing hacks. Because they made the bad habit slightly inconvenient. And in that inconvenience, there was a gap. A moment to choose. That moment is where identity is forged. Most people think discipline is a feeling. It's not. Discipline is a decision repeated until it becomes automatic. Raphael stopped expecting himself to feel ready. He started acting like the man he claimed he wanted to be. But he did it through micro-actions. This is the part you need to understand. Kaizen is not small because small is cute. Kaizen is small because small is sustainable. If you've been inconsistent for years, your nervous system is trained to quit. It expects the collapse. It expects the rebound. So you don't need more intensity. You need a new relationship with effort. In Japan, the idea of Kaizen showed up in business and craftsmanship, but the deeper spirit is older. Improvement through practice, not drama. The craftsman doesn't wake up and say, today I become a master. He goes to the workshop. He does the work. He refines one movement. He repeats. He respects the process. That's discipline without burnout. Not because the work is easy. Because the approach is patient. Raphael realized he'd been trying to build a temple with explosions. He'd been trying to create order using chaos. So he built a system. Here's the system, and it's simple enough that your excuses will hate it. Step 1. Shrink the good habit until it feels stupidly easy. If you want to meditate, don't start with 20 minutes. Start with 60 seconds. If you want to train, don't start with a brutal program. Start with 1 set. 5 push-ups. A single walk. If you want to read, don't start with chapters. Start with 1 page. You're not training the body at first. You're training the identity. You're proving you are the kind of person who shows up. Step 2. Attach the microhabit to a fixed anchor. After you brush your teeth, you meditate for 1 minute. After you make coffee, you do 10 push-ups. After you sit at your desk, you write 1 sentence. No negotiation. No planning. Just a trigger and a response. Step 3. Never miss twice. You can miss once. Life happens. But the second miss is the beginning of a new habit, inconsistency. So Raphael built a rule. No matter what, if he missed a workout, The next day he did the smallest possible version. Even if it was just stretching for 2 minutes. Even if it was just walking outside. Because the point was not performance. The point was continuity. Step 4, track it like it matters. Not obsessively. Not emotionally. Just objectively. Raphael used a simple checklist. He didn't write essays about his feelings. He didn't try to understand himself for 3 hours. He just marked the day. Check. 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 Every check mark was a vote. Step 5, when the urge hits, don't fight it. Label it. This was the breakthrough. Instead of saying, I need to stop, he said, this is an urge. Instead of I'm failing, he said, my brain is asking for escape. This creates distance. You are not the urge. You are the observer of the urge. That one shift turns a compulsive loop into a conscious choice. But even with the system, the conflict didn't disappear. Because the old identity doesn't die quietly. It fights back in the most dangerous way, subtle sabotage. It whispers, this is too small to matter. It says, if you're only doing 1 minute, what's the point? It says, real change should feel intense. It says, you're still not like those disciplined guys. That voice is a liar. It wants you to quit because quitting confirms the old story. Raphael felt it when he looked at his tiny habits and felt almost embarrassed. 1 minute of meditation. 10 push-ups. 5 minutes of focused work. It didn't look impressive. But it was consistent. And consistency is what terrifies your bad habits. Because bad habits thrive in gaps. They thrive when you're off track. They thrive when you're ashamed. Raphael stopped giving them that opening. He began to stack days. At first, nothing dramatic happened. No cinematic montage. No overnight glow-up. Just quieter mornings. Less panic. A slightly stronger sense of control. Then, slowly, something shifted. The urge would come, and he wouldn't obey immediately. He would pause. Breathe. Do the micro-habit. Sometimes he still slipped. But the slip no longer became a spiral. That's the difference between relapse and collapse. Relapse is a mistake. Collapse is an identity. And Raphael was no longer collapsing. He started seeing himself differently. Not as a man who tries, but as a man who trains. And training is not emotional. Training is daily. Weeks passed. Then months. And Raphael noticed something that would have sounded insane to his old self. The bad habit wasn't gone because he fought it harder. It was fading because his life left less room for it. The more he practiced small discipline, the less he needed escape. Not because the world got easier. Because he got steadier. The habit had been his way of coping with discomfort. Now discomfort had competition. Now there was a new reflex. When stress hit, his body didn't automatically reach for the old loop. It reached for the smallest disciplined action. A breath. A walk. A set. A page. A minute. And those tiny actions were doing something bigger than they looked. They were reprogramming his self-image. This is the part most people miss. Your identity is not what you tell yourself in a mirror. Your identity is what your actions prove, repeatedly. Raphael didn't wake up one day and announce, I am disciplined. He earned the right to believe it. And once he believed it, the battle changed. Because when discipline becomes identity, you stop debating. You stop bargaining. You stop asking, do I feel like it? A disciplined man doesn't rely on feelings. He relies on standards. Not perfection. Standards. So Raphael upgraded the system, slowly. Kaizen doesn't mean you stay small forever. It means you start small so you can stay consistent long enough to grow. His 1 minute became 5. Then 10. His 10 push-ups became a real session. His 5 minutes of work became deep work blocks. But he never broke the rule, increase only when the current level is automatic. Because you don't build a strong life by repeatedly collapsing under ambitious plans. You build it by expanding a routine that already fits inside your real day. Eventually, the old habit started to feel childish. Not tempting. Not powerful. Just outdated. Like wearing clothes that don't fit anymore. And that's what bad habits become when your identity shifts. They don't feel forbidden. They feel foreign. Now listen carefully, because this is your call out. You don't need another motivational speech. You don't need another extreme reset. You don't need to lock in for 12 hours a day like your life is a movie montage. You need a system so small you can't talk your way out of it. You need daily discipline that survives low energy, bad moods, and boring days. Start today. Shrink the habit you want to build until it's almost laughable. Attach it to something you already do. Track it. Never miss twice. And when the urge for the bad habit hits, don't panic. Label it. Delay it. Replace it with something tiny. Do that long enough and you won't just quit a habit. You'll replace the person. And once you become the kind of person who shows up, bad habits don't stand a chance. So here's your challenge. Pick one bad habit you've been losing to. One. And for the next 7 days, don't try to destroy it with intensity. Starve it with consistency. Use Kaizen. One small win per day. No drama. No excuses. No identity of trying. Only the identity of training. Because the truth is simple. Your life won't change when you feel ready. It will change when you become someone who acts anyway.